The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge just came out and the people definitely have spoken. After watching tons of tech YouTube, this is what the people had to say. Welcome to Supreme Value News, where I bring you tech news through the lens of the most intriguing comments. In short, the S25 Edge is insanely thin, like thinner than the iPhone 6, but compromises with a significantly smaller battery. And that's where most of the discussion lies. Not once have I thought my phone is too thick and heavy. I think that the general consensus can be summarized in Marques Brownlee's title. Nobody asked. I wish phone companies would stop trying to make phones as thin as possible with massive camera bumps, but just make them with the same thickness as the camera or a little thinner, and then they can have a bigger battery and better cooling. To me, it sucks that phone innovation has decreased so much so that the discussion is around the camera bump. But I mean, I completely agree. I wish more phones could move towards this direction, like the Pixel 9a that's nearly flush. Everyone, we want a huge brick phone that has a battery so big it'll last the whole dang week. Samsung, hold my beat. That's an exaggeration, but I feel that. I want a thick with 2C's Galaxy Ultra with flush camera and huge battery. To be straight, phones did shift from getting thin to getting thicker. Like since the iPhone 6, which came out in 2014 or something, phones have only actually been thicker. But what I think would be more intriguing is a 2 or 3 day battery life. So let's see, cause silicone battery exists, Samsung and Apple. Let's pretend we didn't see that. Basically, there's new battery tech that does last longer, and people thought it would be used for the Edge, but probably because they couldn't use it in time, they didn't. In which the battery life will be pretty booty, but again, let's wait for the reviews. A lot of other comments are comparing it to the iPhone 17 Air. To give you some context, since like the end of 2024, there's been tons of rumors, leaks, and conversation around an iPhone 17 Air. People literally have actual mock-ups and even saying that they have early hands-on, but the device is not actually official. Then in January of this year, Samsung actually previewed the S25 Edge, which was definitely their way of saying like, hey Apple, yeah, actually we will be the first to announce this device. They were definitely trying to take away the hype from Apple and steal some thunder. But yeah, it hasn't been so well received, at least based off of these comments. But Apple fans might respond otherwise when the iPhone 17 Air likely comes out. People say nobody wants thin phones until the iPhone 17 Air comes out. This better be the same reaction you're gonna have for the 17 Air. S25 Edge, nobody asked. iPhone Air, yo, that's insanely thin. I could definitely see a bunch of people hyping up the iPhone Air. I mean, the iPhone Air is rumored to be even thinner than the S25 Edge, in which if it's significant in the way that it actually feels, I don't know, even with the current S25 Edge, most of us actually haven't had it.
I definitely felt a certain way watching a bunch of videos of this phone, but now that I've held it, you know, I was swayed a little bit, not gonna lie.
And that's basically what all the other tech reviewers said too that got to feel it hands-on. I think more than the thinness, the lightness could make a huge difference. But enough for the people to want to pay $1,100? This is exactly the definition of charging more for less with a fancy marketing. It seems that Samsung's designed this phone specifically for those who have plenty of money and don't know where to spend it. Samsung found the perfect solution for them. After buying it, your wallet will be thinner. It's definitely on the expensive side, and I feel like it's hard to justify buying when you see such good mid-range phones for way less at like $600. And if you buy it, because it's freaking 11 Benjamins and so thin, you'll want to protect it with a case, but then you can't appreciate its thinness. That's a dilemma you're gonna have to deal with, in which most will probably have a case. So is it really worth getting for its thinness? Samsung, I built a phone that's only 5.8 millimeters thick. Customer, where can I buy the thickest case? It might just be that we're not really appreciating the thinness.
To be able to fit everything inside this frame, you have to reduce the height of every component that you can. So like the motherboard, the display panel, the speaker module. It's actually really impressive.
This phone is very expensive and clearly not for the average tech enthusiast, but I'm truly amazed at the engineering it required to do this. Reminds me of those super thin CD players and Walkman devices from Sony. And of course we have Jerry Rig Everything, who said, one like and I'll do it. It's gonna be cool to see him actually break it down, and maybe it'll show us that there's more to appreciate. So maybe we shouldn't be as quick to dismissing this phone? I think the real answer here is investors. They want to see tech companies do new things, but phones have already reached an absurd level of form factor that makes innovation hardly possible. It's obviously going to be criticized, but Samsung doesn't care because people are bound to buy it anyways, and then they say, hey, we're innovating in a market that's hitting physical limits on what they can add. We will see ultimately how things are in terms of sales. I could see it being a situation where all the comments say it's gonna flop, but tons of people actually buy it, and Samsung is actually Galaxy brain. But just off the current perception, I would agree with this Reddit homie. Buy an S25 Plus instead, around the same price, and better. It's $100 cheaper, slightly thicker, but probably significantly better battery. But lastly, where's the curved display? If you didn't know, Samsung's previous S6 Edge was called the Edge because it had a curved edge display. So you would think that they would use a curved edge or something, or they just wouldn't use that name again and use the name like Slim. What did you think of what other people think? Feel free to comment on the comments in the comments and subscribe for more tech news from the people. Peace!